All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. Feels good to say that because we haven't had a video in about a week. If you don't know, I'm a big Celtics fan. I went to Game 5. I went to the parade. I did a bunch of stuff throughout that week. But also in the summertime, I bounced from state to state. So just didn't have a ton of time for the past week. So took the week off in terms of videos. I've still been in the Discord as much as possible, talking there, giving out plays, and now finally getting into my summer routine, which again is a little bit busier for me in terms of other stuff going on, but going to try to do the videos as much as possible. Aim for like 5 videos a week, Monday through Friday, starting now, and then on the weekends if I have the time. Sometimes baseball just starts too early for me to get a video out for you guys, but again, I'm always giving out plays in the Discord and things like that. The link for the Discord is in the description. It's just like a group of guys. I don't know if there's any girls in there, but if there are, a group of people that just are interested in sports, talking props, talking lines, just having fun out there. And yeah, it's just a good community where we're laughing a lot, definitely enjoying some of our wins and crying about our losses. But yeah, just trying to get back in the routine. We're gonna talk baseball today. A little bit of a different routine. Sometimes I've been doing videos where I give you guys 2 or 3 picks and I deep dive on one of those picks. I've been trying to do videos where I go through every single matchup for that day, and I'm not sure if you guys get a lot of information from that, but I know it takes a long time to research and get those out. But today I think I'm just going to talk about some hitters that are on fire, guys that have just been killing it. Either that or guys that have great histories against the pitchers they're going up against and like that handedness of the person. So if they're killing righties, if they're killing lefties, things like that. And on the other side of things, I'm also going to talk about some pitchers that have maybe some good matchups, whether it's a team that strikes out a lot or a team that just hasn't been playing very well over the past month or something like that, and seeing if there's some opportunities for some stacking on PrizePicks or maybe other platforms, and just try to give you guys a ton of information. Again, guys that are hot in baseball in terms of batting, if they're on fire. Shohei Ohtani's been on fire. Stephen Kwan's been on fire. We saw Aaron Judge go ballistic for a month. So just finding those guys and kind of pointing them out to you is sometimes even just the easier thing to do. And, sometimes you can even find stacking opportunities. So, hey, Shohei is doing good and Freddie Freeman hits, lefties or righties well too. Let's stack those 2 guys and take the under on the pitcher they're going up against. That's kind of what I'm trying to give you guys. Just again, as much information as possible to try to, jumpstart your betting for the day. Yeah, I'm rambling at this point. Let's just jump into some plays. But again, in the routine of summer, you should be getting more videos from me starting today. All right, so jumping into the first play of the game. By the way, all these games are later in the day, so don't have to worry about missing the game because you're too late. These don't start till like 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So we have plenty of time to digest what I'm talking about, and if you guys want to tail, you got plenty of time to do that. So our first player when we talk about is going to be a hitter. It's going to be Mauricio Dubon for the Astros, and I really think you have an opportunity to stack these Astros players because they're going up against Austin Gomber, who has one of the worst ERAs, one of the worst WHIPs, and honestly on the Astros side of things, their pitcher isn't much better with Hunter Brown. So could be a lot of offense in this game, and just really liking what I'm seeing from Dubon specifically, but again, potential stacking opportunity for these Astros. So what has Dubon been doing specifically the last 2 weeks? He's hitting really well. He's batting .308. He's got a .513 slugging percentage in that time. He's got 12 hits, 5 doubles, 1 home run in that span. So he's been hitting really well. So he's been playing, he's been hitting, and just like what I'm seeing from there. Now you dive a little bit deeper. He's going up against a lefty where he hits lefties better than righties. And he's also going up against specifically Gomber, who he has decent history against, 12 plate appearances, 10 at-bats, 3 hits. plate appearances at bats. He must have walked a few of those times or hit by pitch or whatever it might be. So he's batting .300 against them in specifically, and he's also got a home run off him. So love the history against him. You also can dive a little bit deeper and talk about that he's playing in Houston, where they're playing in Minute Maid Arena. Home runs are a little bit more likely there than other places, so that's just another added boost. But yeah, really liking what I'm seeing from Dubon. So we can jump into his page specifically so you can get some visuals here. Probably should have just done that at the beginning. Got his Outlier page pulled up. If you're interested in any of the tools I'm using, check them out. Links in the description for all of them. You can check them out for a free week. Awesome for Outlier. Can't really beat a free week. If you don't like it, go ahead and cancel it, but I think you will like it. And we see Dubon 47% of times he's gone over his hits, runs, and RBIs line at 1.5. This is available on PrizePicks, so this is the one I'm going to be showing for you guys. And you should be able to find this on a plethora of different platforms as well. So 47% of the time, not amazing. You can see he's been getting one a lot lately though, because he has been pretty hot lately. But if you change this to lefties specifically, he's done this in 60% of games, including was this 8 of the last 9 games. I think that's what that is. But yeah, he's been on fire specifically against lefties. You can see the batting average for him goes from 298 to 304, so he does hit him a little bit better. And then also Gomber pitches a little bit worse. I guess not really. Pretty much the same against right-handed batters. So really like this history. Again, we talked about his specific matchup against Gomber here. 10 at-bats, 300, one home run, 4 RBIs. He's got the history specifically against him. And you check out Gomber's stats right here. ERA of 4.36, not a bunch of strikeouts, a whip of 1.3, just not one of the better pitchers in the league. I really don't mind stacking these Houston Astros. So Dubon at 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, if you want to run it out that way, I definitely don't mind that. And if you want a little stacking opportunity, I think you could go to Jose Altuve. He's at 2.5, but you can get his Goblin or something, alternate line at 1.5. 57% hit rate. When you go to lefties, it's a 61% hit rate, including 5 straight games. So those guys have been hitting, decently in terms of correlation. And again, you see the jump from 299 batting average for Altuve to 329 when he's going up against left-handed pitching. And you see that in his hit rate as well. 61% of the time he's done this. And he's also got great history against Gomber specifically. If you want to check right over here, you see Altuve. He's gone 3 at-bats, 667, so he's 2 for 3 against him. And he has a home run as well. So both guys with great history. If you want to stack these two, I don't mind it at all. You could run it out like this, Dubon and Altuve, both hits, runs, and RBIs. Why does that correlate? Well, if one of these guys is on base and the other dude knocks him in, it's an RBI for the one dude, it's a run for the other dude. They both got hits. They might both cash just like that. And then looking at an under for Gomber, I don't love this because he's just one of those guys that have a longer leash, even though they're not amazing pitchers, kind of like Patrick Corbin. So you could be looking at the under 16.5 pitching outs. Specifically if you wanted to stack it a little bit more, but you could do it without that, honestly, just because, again, he is one of those guys with a longer leash. And the last time he played the Astros, he went like 7 innings, even though he wasn't pitching well. And then if you don't want to use Gomber, it's Taco Tuesday over on PrizePicks, so you could actually just use that if you want to run out this stack with the Taco for Ranger Suarez at 3.5. Tacos don't hit 100% of the time, but this one is looking particularly pretty good. His normal line's at 5.0. Ranger Suarez over the past 2 years has like an 87% hit rate of getting at least 4 strikeouts, so that's something good. He's also going up against Detroit. It's not like Detroit strikes out a ton. They don't strike out like never, though. They're kind of more in the middle of the road. So Suarez should be able to get probably 4 today. I'm liking this Taco, and it's actually on Underdog as well. So this is why you want to be on multiple different platforms. You don't have to play Underdog every day or PrizePicks every day or Chalkboard every day. But in our Discord, we're always mentioning, hey, free square over here, discount over here, boosted play over here. That's when you really want to be taking advantage of these things. So for instance, Underdog has 4 discounts that you can choose between 1, and they also have a free square for the MMA on Saturday. So you have to wait a little bit, but hey, you can't beat a free square. PrizePicks, similar thing. They got a hot dog eating contest, free square. This guy's at 49.5. He's going to eat 1 glizzy. That's a free square. If you look at the NFL season, they got a free square for Patrick Mahomes. Just got to throw 1 yard throughout the whole season. He's going to probably get that, I would assume there. So that's why you want to be on multiple platforms, and that's also kind of how I'm doing my giveaway, my $250 giveaway. You can enter today. I'm going to do a whole write-up on it so you know all the details of it. But essentially, if you use my code when signing up for any of my affiliates down below, it could be PrizePicks, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Dabble, or DG Fantasy. Just send me a screenshot in the Discord DMs. Say, hey, use your code. I'd like to be entered into the giveaway. And it's really no price to you guys. You just got to deposit at least $10 when signing up for one of these platforms. And then you're also just going to get a deposit match. So if you put $10 in, you're going to start with $20. And you have the opportunity to win $250. So it's kind of like a win-win-win, and it's just a good way to get into the Discord for free because I'm going to give you a free month of the Discord when you sign up. So if you don't win the $250, you're at least going to get the $20 worth of a free month of the Discord. So again, I'm not going to explain it too much in this one. It's going to go live at 6 p.m. tonight. If you want to sign up now, that's totally fine when you're watching this. And again, just DM me so I can log you and have you into the giveaway. So plenty of time to enter. But yeah, just wanted to incentivize you guys to do that. But yeah, if you want to run out this stack this way, Dubon, Altuve, we broke them down. They both look like they have great matchups against Gomber. And if you want to just run the taco out, the whole 25 would give you, a 106 payout. If you want to run, half the taco, you could run that for a 53 payout, or you could just do, $5 in the taco with this little combo here with the Goblin play. It's still 5 for 21. So looking pretty solid there if that's how you want to run it out. And then kind of rapid firing some other hitters that have just been going crazy, really. Shohei Ohtani has been obviously insane. The last 20 games in terms of his hits, runs, and RBIs line at 2.5. He's gone over in 55% of them. Obviously, a lot of these games he was hitting home runs. He's got Chris Flexen today, too, who he has, in terms of the stats this year, he hits better against right-handed pitching, and Flexen pitches a little worse against against left-handed bats, which Ohtani is. The ERA jumps up a little bit. The batting average jumps up a little bit. The home runs per 9 jumps up a little bit, and the WOBA jumps up a little bit. So, I don't mind going back to Shohei because he's just been so hot. If you want to be looking at his fantasy score, if you want to be looking at his hits, runs, and RBIs, I think he's got a maybe Goblin at 1.5 for hits, runs, or RBIs, or total bases or something. Shohei's just been crushing really everything. But specifically against Flexen, I know the stats say this, but he doesn't have a great, batting average or history against Flexen, and he's had a lot of at-bats, 18 at-bats, 167 batting average, 1 home run, and 1 RBI over that span. But Flexen's been bad specifically this year, 1.39 whip, 5.03 ERA. So if you want to be attacking that, I think it's still an option, but just want to point out that Ohtani has not been amazing against Flexen throughout his career. And then while we're on the topic of kind of stacking here, I might as well mention Freddie Freeman if you want to go to Ohtani. Remember, he's going up against Flexen, or they're both going up against Flexen, who hasn't had a great year, but he does have great history against this Dodgers team, specifically Freeman and Ohtani. Freeman is 1 for 5 in the 5 at-bats, but he does have 2 RBIs in that time. So you could see, Freddie Freeman go to him a couple different ways. Maybe his hits, runs, and RBIs line, maybe his total bases line. His runs line also looks pretty good if you want to be looking at it. But all these go up when you start looking at right-handed pitching. So here's his runs line, 56% hit rate. Go see the averages against, right-handed pitching. 339 from 300, so it gets a big boost there against righties. His WOBA goes up, his whatever this is goes up, batting average, BIP, and then also his splits against Flexen against left-handed batters, which Freeman is. We talked about the ERA, the batting average, all this different stuff goes up against left-handed batters here, which Ohtani and Flexen both are. Then another guy that's just been killing it, Bryce Harper. He actually was a guy we went to yesterday. We stacked Bryce Harper and Trey Turner, and they both crushed it going up against Mize, I think, who struck out like everyone, like 9 strikeouts really early, but didn't get to his pitching out. So it was a nice little stack there for the Phillies against Detroit. But now he's going up against Skubal, who's obviously a much better pitcher. You see the batting average against left-handed batters, which Bryce Harper is, 155, an ERA of 1.56. You see his normal whip here, 0.97. He's obviously a very, very good pitcher. So Bryce Harper has been hot, but they're going up against Skubal. He's got a hits, runs, and RBIs line that's pretty juiced on the over. It's really juiced on Chalkboard right now. It's one of the best DFS platforms out there. It's actually giving you a 2x if you want to include Bryce Harper right now. It's a boosted play at 1.5, so definitely check that out. But just keep in mind, going up against Skubal, kind of a harder pitcher, tougher matchup. And then if you want to stack against Skubal, if you don't think Skubal is going to have his best stuff today, Kyle Schwarber crushes lefties much better than righties. 70% hit rate over his 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs line. I'm pretty sure this is available on PrizePicks as a normal play. Or if you want to just take it somewhere else as a straight bet, Kyle Schwarber, 70% hit rate over the last 20 games against left-handed pitching. Again, though, it is Skubal. There's no specific history, but you see Schwarber's average go from 249 to 342 against left-handed pitching. But again, I can't stress enough that it is going up against Skubal. So if you like the Phillies, if you're a Phillies fan, Schwarber and Harper are probably your guy today. But going up against a tough pitcher. Then moving along, again, back to that Rockies-Astros game, we talked about Hunter Brown not being a great pitcher either. How about Ryan McMahon here at 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs? Again, you could look at some other of his plays here, but he's been hitting this at a 75% clip. He's been on fire lately, batting .400 over the past 2 weeks, 4 home runs. I think like 8 maybe doubles or something crazy, 18 hits overall. So he's been definitely on fire. And again, against lefties, it is a little bit worse, 280 to 259. You see Hunter Brown a little tiny bit better against left-handed batters as well. But McMahon has still been able to do this against left-handed pitching at 84%, or sorry, against lefties, it crushes it. Against righties, 72% clip. So still really solid, including, I don't know how many games in a row this is, 5 games in a row, 7 of the last 8. All right, so then the last hitter I'm going to talk about before I jump into some pitchers real quick is going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. going up against Brian Bayo, who he's got a huge history against. We'll just knock that off right off the bat here. Guerrero, 17 at-bats against Bayo. 412 batting average in those 17 at-bats. He has 2 home runs off this guy and 6 RBIs, so great history here. He has not been doing crazy good the past few weeks, but the past 3 or 4 games, he has been getting back into that groove that he was in kind of in May here where he was on fire. But yeah, 7 total hits, runs, and RBIs here with a huge bomb. I think it went over the Green Monster. You know, Fenway's a smaller field, a lot more runs in Fenway, I'd say. But yeah, huge game there. And then against the Cleveland Guardians, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs in back-to-back games. He's doing well. So hopefully it's the start of another hitting streak for him. 295 against right-handed pitching overall, so a little bit better against righties as well. And then you see Brian Bayo gets a little bit better in terms of his pitching against right-handed bats, which Guerrero is, but still ERA over 4, batting average around 250. It's not like this guy's been pitching all too great. So Guerrero Jr. specifically against Bayo, I'm really liking this 412 batting average and 17 at-bats with the 2 bombs. And then you also see, other guys on this team, on this Raptors team, on this Blue Jays team, you see a couple guys over 500, over 300 batting average. Some dudes just hitting this well. So that plays well into the hits, runs, and RBIs line. More guys on base, to hit for, Guerrero, that's more RBI potential. Or if he's on base, more runs potential for him. So that's just all going to play into our hand when we play a hits, runs, and RBIs line for a dude like this. So there's not a whole bunch of pitchers that I love today. Skubal, we talked about potentially going to Harper, potentially going to Schwarber against him. So if you really want to add another stack to that, you could go under his 6.5 pitcher strikeouts. You see he's gone under this in 53% of games. A lot of games he's right around that 6 mark. But he doesn't have a specific game against Philly to look at. But you do see Philly, right around middle of the road in terms of K percentage. But if you think Harper, if you think Schwarber are going to play well, if you think the Phillies are going to play well against him, I wouldn't, be surprised if Skubal goes for 6 or maybe even under that. But again, I wouldn't be surprised either if he goes over that because he is a pretty good strikeout pitcher, 10.5 strikeouts per 9. That's probably, ranked, 92nd in terms of K percentage percentile. So again, harder guy to go under on, but if you're going to the stack of the Phillies players, maybe add Skubal there if you want to go under his strikeouts at 6.5. And then Mitch Keller at 5.5, another guy that I kind of like today. I would love him a little bit more if he didn't just face Cincinnati in his last start about a week ago. You kind of get the advantage as a hitter when you've seen a guy recently. He did strike out 7 of them the last time they met. He only needs 6 in this matchup, and the odds are also favoring the over. You see Cincinnati strikeouts 28th in terms of K percentage for the year. Last 30 days, a little bit better, middle of the road at 17. So definitely a team that strikes out a decent amount, the Cincinnati Reds team. They've also a team that known for kind of exploding offensively. But again, good to see head-to-head. He's struck these guys out pretty historically, 7 strikeouts this year. This was a week ago. That's kind of what scares me a little bit. 7 strikeouts last year, 5 last year, and then also an 8 strikeout game last year. So has a decent history against this team, a team that strikes out a decent amount. But again, the one kind of notch here is that he did just face this team kind of advantage to the hitters that have seen his stuff kind of semi-recently. So Mitch Keller, odds are very much on the over, -127 average sportsbook odds. So you see a couple of these, I guess Pinnacle at -135, they don't love this line. But everywhere else, -125, -130, -130, pretty much across the board here. But again, Pinnacle, a sharper book, kind of convincing me potentially to go off of this thing, but did want to point him out that he is one of the better pitcher strikeouts lines available on PrizePicks right now. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. We talked about a ton of different lines. I'm still trying to find my groove in terms of how I would like to do MLB videos, whether it's, hey, here's 3 plays that I'm really liking, here's the stats on all of them, or it's, hey, here's all of the matchups for the day. I'm going to give you guys a ton of stats to give you guys like a jump start on your research. And then also we did a different types today where we looked at, hitters that are on fire, potential stacking opportunities, because I do think stacking is so big in the MLB because of how volatile, especially hitting is in the MLB. The best players in the world can go, 0 for 4, 0 for 5, even some days, even though they've, got great contact and they hit, 2 huge fly balls to center field that end up being caught in center field or near the warning track or near the wall, whereas if they had 5 more feet on that, it would have been a home run or something like that. So it can be definitely volatile for hitters. Pitchers a little bit easier, I guess, to bet on, or maybe a little bit more consistent because they're going to get 70 to 100 pitches unless they get absolutely shelled, which happens in baseball too. So I just want to give you guys a ton of information. We talked about a bunch of different stacking opportunities. Freddie and Shohei, they correlate well. If Freddie's doing well, Shohei might get his RBI. If Freddie gets on base, Shohei might not be able to hit him in, and they correlate really well. Same thing with Dubon and Altuve for the Astros lineup, going up against a weaker pitcher in Gomber. Dubon going up with Altuve. He bats later in the lineup, so maybe Dubon gets on. I think he's like the 8th hitter or something, and Altuve, smacks him in with a single to get the RBI, and they both hit correlated. That's a nice correlated slip. And then don't forget your tacos here. You're going to get 3 of them. That's the advantage of being on multiple different DFS platforms. You want to take advantage of discounts because there's usually at least one on one of these platforms throughout the day. We see that on Underdog. I'm not sure why that just happened, but on Underdog, we got a couple discounts going as well. Suarez is also over here, but you got Gibson. You get to choose one, or if you like some WNBA, Breanna Stewart or Collier. And then also we have a nice free square coming up for us on Saturday. So a ton of different stuff to look forward to throughout the next few days. But that's, again, the reason to be on multiple different DFS platforms. So yes, these are the video picks I'm showing at the end. Freddie, Shohei, Dubon, Altuve, and then Taco. But we talked about, Guerra. We talked about McMahon. We talked about Mitch Keller and Skubal. Potential stacking opportunity against Skubal if you really like the Phillies, or if you don't like Skubal today, even though he is a great pitcher. Maybe taking the under on his strikeouts while taking, a correlated slip with Schwarber, with what's his name, Bryce Harper. That could be a good way to do it as well. I just really like stacking MLB. But if you're interested in this stuff, we're always talking about it in our Discord. I always post plays in here, whether it's, MLB, NBA, WNBA, soccer's going on today. That's going to be one of the bigger sports for the summer. Tennis, golf, all different types of things. We just have a lot of fun in here talking sports, talking props, talking plays, and we just have a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that giveaway like I mentioned. So if you sign up for PrizePicks, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Dabble, or DG Fantasy, any of those qualify for an entry into the $250 giveaway. But even if you don't win the giveaway, you're going to get a free month of my Discord. You're going to get 100% deposit matches on these platforms or whichever one you sign up for. You're going to get free squares. You're going to get access to the discounts. It's kind of just a win-win-win and incentivizes you guys to get on these apps, try them out. Again, I get a little bit kicked back my way, which is why I can give you that free month of the Discord and why I can give this $250 giveaway. So it has a chance to go up. It might be more than $250, going to depend on how many people partake. But yeah, the official announcement with all the details will be coming in the announcements channel tonight at 6 p.m. So you'll be able to read it all there if I didn't explain it very well. But essentially, just use the link in the description, sign up for any of these that you don't have, and any of these is going to give you a free month. So you can sign up for 3 of them and get 3 free months. And it's also going to give you 3 entries into the giveaway. So that's the giveaway. That's the video for today. I'll get better as I get back in the groove. Haven't had a video in a while, so I probably bumbled over my words a bunch. But I will see you guys tomorrow for more MLB action. Let me know if you want to see WNBA content. Maybe videos on that would be more popular. I have no idea. But yeah, we're going to keep continuing to attack value and throughout the whole summer, even though there's no baseball or basketball, even though there's no football, and we're going to keep it going until we get those sports back. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one, or if you're in the Discord, I'll see you in there. Peace out. Good to be back.